Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
We interrupt this program to bring you.
Hey, let's go. ATM all the money, we the bang. Post that top of your ass and get stained. My nigga post up, yeah, we don't play.
We are basically Bessent reaction.
Yes, sir.
So at the end we'll drop the new TikTok. So y'all like, share, and follow.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now we're about to react to the new Final Destination trailer. So I want to make a comment.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we can pause. Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, I'm gonna be honest. I basically grew up on watching all the Final Destination tearjerker. Well, not tearjerker, but it's basically edgy type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really feel like this one, oh, it's over with.
Back and see if we can't unravel Death's design. Join me if you dare, as I examine the Final Destination timeline and try to make sense of all the rules. The Reaper's rules just came up with that. Spoilers ahead, let's go. These movies were mostly released in chronological order, with one notable exception. There's a twist at the end of Final Destination 5, revealing it's actually a prequel that leads into the plane crash from the original Final Destination. So to go through these movies in chronological order, we have to start with 5, released in 2011, but takes place in 1999, or 2000. It's confusing because of some internal contradictions in the franchise, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's just call it 1999 and go with it. Each of these movies features a character who has a premonition of imminent disaster, allowing them to save themselves and a few friends. This movie's visionary is Sam Lawton. Sam is an employee at Presage Paper, working for a boss played by David Koechner, who has experience playing a paper company employee. So it's fun to imagine this movie as a sequel to The Office, revealing the true fate of Todd Packer.
Because we watching this, and I was trying to make sure we got our honest opinion about the reaction of the new one that's coming out.
The new Final Destination to come out, it's good. That's all I was putting this video on because it's good to learn about how all the other Final Destinations connect to each other anyway, and it's leading up to
Yeah.
that too. I think this one, boy, because the new kids they come on that Final Destination. I don't really know about Final Destination like you know about it.
You'll have to cross a bridge.
Facts.
And when you're in a Final Destination movie, that's a big no. He does manage to save his girlfriend.
I remember this scene right here, boy. This jump right here was
crazy.
crazy.
About an hour ago when she broke up with him. Don't worry, they're still in love. She did it for selfless reasons, to be revealed later. More important is that after Sam dies, he wakes up back on the bus. It wasn't real, just a vision, and Sam only has minutes to escape. He gets off the bridge along with a few more who follow him. You might be wondering, by the way, why do certain people get these visions? The movies never really delve into that.
That's what I was about to say too.
Man who can shed some light.
I wondered that too.
That was the big question though, because we never figured out
like,
why. That's the whole mystery. That's why we got intrigued with Final Destination anyway. Why would people have the vision? The why, but the why was also why. That was also the reason why the movies was popular like that. Cause
there was no reason why. It's just something.
It was just death,
that
man.
happens pretty much.
You can't escape it.
Is that he lingering?
It's a life lesson.
He be lingering.
But yes, if you haven't heard this piece of trivia, Final Destination was originally written as an episode of X-Files by Jeffrey Reddick. Officially commissioned by the show, he wrote it as a spec script, meaning it was written as a way to showcase his talent in the hopes of getting a job. But he was instead convinced by some friends in the biz that it could work as a movie.
Oh, that's what's up right there. I didn't even know that.
And we can read it today. In this original script, Dana Scully's brother Charles is the one with the vision, and when Mulder meets him, he explains it like this. A lot of people have had a feeling or a sense of foreboding about something, whether it's taking a flight or walking down a dark street. And while these feelings are part of the extrasensory phenomena, having an actual vision indicates a heightened level of psychic ability. It's a unique gift. And where does this gift come from? Mulder later adds, there are researchers who believe psychic ability is a genetic anomaly that manifests itself mentally. So it's a genetic anomaly, a mutation, kind of like the X-Men, or at least that's how Reddick envisioned it back in '94 when he first wrote the script. At the funeral for those who didn't get off the bridge, an important character makes his first chronological appearance. at this point in the timeline.
Being a genetic.
Though later on he'll become a funeral director. William Bloodworth, played by the late, great Tony Todd,
My boy.
Death doesn't like his vague guidance to the characters. It's clear he knows something about how death and its designs work. But how does he know all this? The only real clue we get is in Final Destination 5, because Bloodworth says, "I've seen this before. A lucky few survive a disaster, and then one by one, death comes for them all."
It's crazy. It's ironic. You see how ironic that is? And he passed away? Yep. That's crazy. And he was not lying. That's how you know that jump was true.
Yep.
He already passed away. Death comes for us all. He ain't lie about not one bit.
And piece together how things work over the years. Anyway, enough rattling on. This is Final Destination. You're here for some good old-fashioned death by freak accident. And we can call that rule number 1, the most basic rule. First up is the gymnast, Peter's girlfriend, Candace. At practice, a loose screw lands on the balance beam, and
can you turn it up a little bit?
To a fan
volume.
Puddle of water. As luck have it, she avoids both. Well, unless he had a death wish, the ending, they fill him with acupuncture needles and leave the room. Just before some burning incense falls onto a table.
Well, this was hilarious.
The table breaks, pushing all those needles in deep, while knocking over a jug of alcohol.
I know he hurt.
And finally,
not alcohol.
Knocks over a candle into the resulting puddle, and the explosion launches him across the room. Yet, he's still alive for about 10 seconds. All the commotion breaks a shelf that holds a hefty Buddha statue, which falls and crushes his skull. Maybe he should have been nicer to it.
Oh, yo, Buddha. Slow down on the rice cakes.
So far, each of these deaths have had beforehand portending doom. When Isaac went through his coworker's drawers, he pricked his finger. A sign because the same thing happened to Sam on the bus before the bridge collapsed.
Exactly.
And in the massage room.
You gotta follow the signs. They don't never but in Final Destination.
They never do.
Follow the signs.
They never do this. They just brush it off.
Coincidence. You about to see what that blade comes.
Right before her final routine, she twirled her good luck rubber band around her wrist like always, but this time it snapped.
Ooh,
and a dark shadow passed over her. So a select few like Sam Lawton received full-on visions.
That was.
In addition to that,
and you remember when that one came out, AJ, when that scene came out and she folded on her dang neck? Everybody was talking about that jump, bro. Everybody, like, dang, bro, that jump was nasty, bro. How many times when we first watched that, we rewind that jump? I said, dang, bro.
The impact.
They pay close
attention. That jump was nasty.
At the scene of Isaac's death, the survivors spot Bloodworth. And this time, they demand answers. Is there any way to escape death once you've cheated its design? The answer is yes. Let death have someone else in your place. Then you take their spot in the realm of the living.
All the days and years that they've yet to live, and they take your place in death, and the books are balanced.
And there's rule number 2. If you cheat death and the Reaper is after you, you can buy additional time by killing someone else. That'll take whatever time they had left on this mortal coil and add it to yours. Nathan doesn't believe it. The grieving Peter takes it to heart. And Olivia, well, she couldn't join them for this chat with Death's custodian because she's currently at an appointment for some laser eye surgery. For those of you who don't do well with eye trauma, this is the movie you want to skip. Now, if Olivia had been looking for signs, she might have skipped this appointment because earlier at the office, in her rush to leave, she knocked over a picture of herself, breaking the frame's glass
right in her eye, dummy.
That photo, by the way, was taken with her friend at the Devil's Flight roller coaster, which will claim
every time.
Oh, they're always connected. It's always a connection.
I'm telling you, man.
Every single time it's a connection.
That shit crazy right there, boy.
That's wild.
You see how they land on the picture. The picture connected back when you was on that roller coaster.
Those sorts of Easter eggs are present throughout the series for 180, in reference to the doomed Flight 180 from the original movie. This movie has already had a few 180s. The name of the company that was going to take them on the corporate retreat, 180 Corporate Consulting.
Dang.
The restaurant Sam works at, Le Cafe Miro 81. Anyway, we've been putting it off long enough. Sorry, Olivia, it's time. The eye doctor locks her in place under the laser, which doesn't help with the nerves. That's where the teddy bear comes in. She squeezes it. So tight, she pops out one of its eyes. She's afraid, and it doesn't help that the doctor leaves the room when he notices he's been given an incomplete file.
Exactly,
Just
with the
outside
laser
room,
on.
a cup left on the water cooler topples, spilling its contents onto the wall socket, which happens to share a circuit with the laser eye machine. It malfunctions, turning the intensity up way too high. Olivia reaches for the emergency stop, but only manages to knock the remote onto the ground, landing it right on the big red button.
Oh,
The laser
jeez.
fires. Her right eye is burned, hurting when she raises it to try and stop the laser. Finally, she escapes the machine just as Sam and Molly arrive to check on her. She screams for help and slips on the teddy bear, flinging her out the window. But only one of her eyes has been destroyed. Well, don't worry, we've got you covered, because the impact of her body causes her one good eye to pop out of its socket and then pop under the wheel of oncoming traffic. The next morning, Sam discovers the first addendum to rule number 1. He spent all night thinking about the bridge and how he saw everyone die. He realizes now that they're all dying in the order they would have died. So, who's next? That would be Nathan. Right now, he's at the paper factory where he's a supervisor.
Oh, man.
The tension between him and a worker he doesn't get along with, Roy, boils over. Wait a minute. Roy in the office, who also worked in the warehouse at the paper company and didn't get along with the stiffs upstairs? Not to mention, Sam is played by the same actor who played Jan's assistant, Hunter, in The Office.
That's crazy.
What the hell is going on here?
That's
wild.
wild.
If Final Destination has taught me anything, it's that there are no coincidences.
Yep.
All of this must be a sign of danger. Speaking of which, while Nathan and Roy argue, he notices a large metal hook about to fall. They have to move out of the way, but Roy won't let go of him. So Nathan gives him a little push, inadvertently putting Roy in danger in Nathan's place. The hook breaks the platform out from under him, and Roy falls until the pointy end catches him by impaling his skull. Sam, Peter, and Molly arrive after that, and Peter only has one question for Nathan. Did you kill him? It might have been an accident, but it's true. Nathan handed Roy over to the Reaper, and now he reaps the reward, Roy's remaining years. With Nathan off death's list, who's next? Speak of the devil, it's Todd Packer, and he's just arrived. Just in time for a stray wrench left by a belt sander to fall, and that night, Sam has
right in the blowhole.
Want him to die.
That gave me a headache.
Safe. Suddenly, things are looking up. It isn't just that he might live, but on top of that, Molly is no longer his ex. It turns out the only reason she ended things is because she feared that she was holding him back. The restaurant offered Sam an apprenticeship in Paris, which would be his dream, but he was hesitant to go because he didn't want to leave her behind. Now he's invited her to come with him, and she said yes. After his shift that night, she comes to the restaurant for a late-night dinner.
We thought it was
they
over,
receive
huh?
a surprise guest, Peter. He's supposed to be next, then Sam. Thing is, Peter doesn't want to die, and it's not really fair that Candace had to die while Molly gets to live. So he's gonna kill her and take her remaining years. Sam tries to protect her, putting himself between her and Peter. The gunshots draw the attention of FBI agent Block. He shows up to save the day until Peter shoots him in the back, taking his remaining life. Now, Peter is off death's list. No more need to kill, except Molly just witnessed him murder a federal agent. So he turns the gun on her too, until Sam stabs him through the back with a skewer and finally kills him. Now Sam and Molly feel a shadowy presence leave them. It would seem that Sam is saved. Sure, killing Peter normally wouldn't have saved him because Peter was
never
already
over.
on death's list. But once Peter killed Block, Peter stole Block's remaining life, and now Sam has stolen Block's life from Peter. After that, 2 weeks go by without incident. And this is where Final Destination 5 meets Final Destination. So let's turn to the original Final Destination.
The OG.
An exciting day for the graduating class of Mount Abraham High, because today they're boarding Volé Airlines Flight 180 to Paris for their senior trip. But one particular student, Alex Browning, is a little less excited. In fact, he's a bit nervous, because he has a bad feeling about this flight. The strange coincidences aren't helping, like the departure time that matches his birthday, or the music playing over the intercom, John Denver, who died in the plane crash.
Mm.
Nevertheless, he boards the flight.
Oh, wow.
Krista asks him to change seats with Blake so she can sit next to her friend, and he obliges. Then another sign, broken tray table. They take off and the turbulence is bad enough, people are starting to worry.
Nah.
But they don't have to worry long because those who aren't flung out of the craft are incinerated when it explodes. Alex wakes in a cold sweat.
Cooked.
He's back in his seat.
Like some cold turkey.
Another reason I don't want to get on the plane.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I was gonna face my fear.
That's my fear at. See, that's where it come from right here.
I'm Gucci because there's too many planes that blew up. And no.
Oh, it's a 4002 and 347. Bitch, I don't care, man.
You kind of convince me. I'm not hearing it.
I'm good on it. I'm good on that.
Krista asks him to change seats. The same tray table is broken. It's just like the nightmare. No, the premonition. He shouts and warns the rest as he and a few others are removed from the plane. Back to Final Destination 5. What is all that commotion? Sam and Molly wonder. That's right. They are also on Volé Airlines Flight 180. We should have seen it coming. After all, they told us Sam's apprenticeship was in Paris, where Flight 180 is heading. Alex and the others are removed from the flight.
That's
the plane
wild.
falls apart midair. Molly is flung out and broken in half.
Because it's like both of these instances are happening at the same time. From that one from 5.
Just in different times.
There you go.
Yeah,
from here to this one.
Sam is incinerated in the subsequent explosion. How about Nathan, the one who stole Roy?
And you know what's
Right
bro?
now,
We probably didn't even notice that they was on the plane.
That's what I'm saying, because he was like, exactly what you said. He ain't noticed that they was in plane. Because when they was coming out, they was going in.
Yep.
And the other part of the movie, it showed that they were coming out and they were coming in. And then when we first seen that, we was like, dang, bro, that junk everything connected, bro. So when that was happening, they was already dead. Yeah, we was already dead from the beginning. It didn't matter what they did.
Memorial
Pretty much.
Roy, and it turns out Roy didn't have much life left. The autopsy revealed an enlarged blood vessel in his brain so big it was about to burst.
See, that's what I'm saying. They didn't even have enough time anyway. They was screwed anyway. The people they had killed was already on a set limit, so they was destined to die anyway. Nothing they could have changed it.
Wild.
Because the people that they killed was already, they only lasted 2 weeks. Because he just said they got a blood clot in his head. The dude they killed. And the people that was on the flight that was already destined to die, they was already dead from the beginning. So you taking the life of the person that replacing you was already dead.
Didn't matter.
Damn, Chin. Some greasy shit. You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, baby back ribs, some fries or something? Gang, gang. ATM on the money with the bank. Smoke out that gas, out that pound in this bitch. 100 surroundings go down in this bitch. I cannot live on that bitch, she ain't shit. Young nigga thuggin' since I was legit. Sending them shots and you know we won't miss. If you play, you gon' lay. I got some young niggas thuggin' the A. They crackin' for a bitch and they shootin' Barday. You already know we ain't safe. Play around, you'll get shot. I cannot live on that bitch, she a thot. Got some young niggas.